All right, folks, welcome back. It is that time again. It is prediction season. If you guys have been with the channel since last year, you'll remember I did my prediction series for the Rams. I'm doing it for the Rams and Jets. We started off today doing the Zach Wilson prediction, but now we're going to do Matthew Stafford. So before we get into it, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. And if you would like to, donate or anything like that, you can hit the super thanks on the bottom. Really do appreciate all of those. But let's dive into it, right? So Matthew Stafford, last year I said he'd go for 50 touchdowns. I think I had 51 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 5,000 yards, MVP. That didn't happen, right? I did also have him winning the Super Bowl. So I'll take that one. That was the most important. But Matthew Stafford, first year with the Rams, great season, but could have been a lot better. And I think the reason I say that is because when you look at it, Matthew Stafford, he didn't have the guy that he's going to have this year in Allen Robinson. I'm just going to say that. That's why you can see those stats that right there that I just put up. They're hefty. They're hefty. I get it. I understand. You look at the 5,000 plus yards, they're like, whoa. I mean, come on, Jake. He only had 4,886 last year. Played all 17 games. Why does he have 5,541? Hear me out. So Matthew Stafford last year threw deep passes, trying to give a guy a chance. Just go up and get the ball, right? Threw it to Jefferson. He threw it to Jackson. Deshaun Jackson looked up at it, sailed into the cornerback's hands on the Cardinals. Van Jefferson at times didn't really go up and try to play the ball. Well, now the Rams have Allen Robinson, who is literally known for that. And I think that's mainly the reason why the Rams went out and did that. On top of that, the Rams were 24th ranked, in the run game last year. And I understand a lot changed when Cam Akers went down, but I just don't think the Rams are going to run that much this year. I'm just being honest. I really don't expect it. I think they're going to run a decent amount, but I think this is going to be a pass-happy offense because I don't see how you're going to be able to stop this offense. I just don't. They go out and they get Liam Cohen, who I think is going to add more of a pass-first approach. And obviously he's not calling the plays, but I think they got him for a reason. So looking at it, Matthew Stafford last year, 41 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. He had a 67.2 completion percentage, which I have him hitting close to 70 in this season upcoming. He had a 102, over a 102 passer rating. I have 111.3. Quite the hike, but I'll explain in a sec. And he went 12-5, right? So the way I see it with Matthew Stafford, 5,541 yards, 46 touchdowns, which is only 5 more than his 41 last year. I think that's very doable. 13 interceptions, down from his 17 last year, which really just wasn't like Stafford. And to be honest with you, yeah, some decisions weren't very good, but at the same time, he had to have some help, and he didn't get that. So I think this year now with, you have Allen Robinson, you have Cooper Kupp coming off a Triple Crown season, is going to generate a lot of coverage. In my opinion, I think he's going to get bracketed a lot, doubled a lot. Then you have your big three, in the tight end room, your trio there. I mean, what can you say? Tyler Higbee came through in his own way throughout the year. Kendall Blanton steps up in the NFC title game, and Bryson Hopkins helps them win a Super Bowl. I think all three will have decent roles. I think Higbee's role is going to be slightly smaller than it's normally because I think they just have so much. Potentially Odell Beckham Jr., not really factoring him in. I mean, I kind of was, but, they have Van Jefferson as well. I think Tutu Atwell's going to have a bigger role, and they still have Jacob Harris and Ben Skoranek and Brandon Powell if they ever want to get into that, and then the running backs, Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson, Kyron Williams. So Matthew Stafford is 100% going over 5,000 yards. The only way I don't see that happening is if he gets hurt. So hope to God that doesn't happen. But if he doesn't get hurt, he's going over 5,000 yards. 5,541 that I projected. I understand it's a lot, but I'm expecting, and keep in mind, I have Allen Robinson leading the league in receiving. So I'm expecting a big season out of Robinson, out of Kupp, another very similar season out of Jefferson, not trying to spoil the whole series, but you get my point. So Matthew Stafford, I think he's in for a huge year. And this will be a career year for him, the best year he's had. And it makes sense. Second year in this system, I just can't see him not absolutely blowing up. And so, yeah, I have 46 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Will he win the MVP? I don't think so. I think he's going to be in the running, and I think he'll be close, and he might lead the league in passing yards. Actually, he'll probably lead the league in passing yards. But I just think that, they would give it to, Josh Allen will probably be in the running. I think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in football, so if he does win it, I'm not going to complain. It'd probably be, well-deserved. You got, Patrick Mahomes with the new look receiver room. So, I do think that there are some guys out there that definitely pose a threat. I think Justin Herbert is kind of a low-key option there. You have, of course, Joe Burrow. So, I'm not going to say that Stafford doesn't win MVP. I'm not expecting him to, and the projection isn't me like last year when I said he'll win MVP. I don't think, I'm not going out of my way to say he's going to win MVP. Now, going into year 2 in this offense, and it's no knock on Robert Woods, but I would argue it's somewhat of an upgrade because it's a full diversifying of your receiver room because there's no one that does what Allen Robinson does. I mean, keep in mind, the Rams thought Josh Reynolds was their big play receiver at one point. Their guy that can go up and get it, the 6'3" receiver. No. Wait till you see Allen Robinson, who, if you didn't see my YouTube short I threw out there this morning, you got to check it out because it's only a little bit of Allen Robinson, but it shows you he's so used to having pass nowhere near his catch radius, and he just goes and gets it. And this combination with him already having familiarity where the ball wouldn't actually be anywhere near him and still going out and making the play because he had, poor quarterback play majority of his career. Now he's got Matthew Stafford, who's pretty damn accurate and who's going to put the ball on him. And it's, he's not going to, that's the thing. We're talking a 67.2 completion percentage last year. And this guy was bombing down the field. Throwing tons of deep balls. He's just very accurate. He's going to put the ball where it needs to be more often than not. And so it's going to make Allen Robinson more dangerous. I can't tell you how many times last year he had to lay out, make a grab, and he didn't get a touchdown because of it. Or, years past, just in general. And I think this is just a great fit for him. And this is a great offense for him. But ultimately, it's going to 10x, maybe not 10x, 2x, or maybe even 4x Stafford, his play, I think. Having him with Cooper Kupp is just going to be very, very lethal. And I think we're going to see some Tutu Atwell as well. I think they're going to utilize that speed. I expect Van, again, not trying to spoil, but I expect Van to pretty much be around where he was last year, very consistent, production-wise. And then the tight ends, like I said, running backs, we'll see. Darrell Henderson was, used out of the slot a decent amount. And I know Cam Akers, the rumor was he'd be used there. So, yeah, I think just what it comes down to is that, Matthew Stafford is going to have one of the better seasons in the league this year, once again. But I think this year it's going to be more, it's going to be more kind of separating himself. Last year, he had a great season, but it was overshadowed because of the interceptions. This year, if he brings it down by 4, I guarantee you won't hear as much about the interceptions. You will hear it from people that don't want to admit Matthew Stafford is the real deal. I don't know how a Super Bowl hasn't changed that, but 41 touchdowns, 17 interceptions last year. Everyone looks at the 17, not the 41. This year, I think 46. I initially had it over 50, and I just decided to kind of, go more towards the passing yards, I would say. I think he's going to have more passing yards than some people are giving him credit. Maybe not as many touchdowns. I could see a lot of 1-yard runs as well by other, players, like running backs. So I'm going to say 46 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 111.3 passer rating, and 5,541 passing yards. So that is Matthew Stafford's 2022 season projections by yours truly, Jake Ellenbogen. And that is it for the video. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, like, comment, and there's more where that came from. Stay tuned. We're on to the running backs. Both the Jets and the Rams will be talking about Breece Hall, Michael Carter, Kyron Williams, Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson. It's all coming soon, so be prepared. Later, guys.